Hello,
Hello, hi.
how are you?
I'm good, thanks. How about you?
Fine, Alhamdulillah.
All right. Let's see. Can you hear me clearly?
What?
Can you hear me clearly?
Yes.
Is my voice clear?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, let me share the book. We are doing yes. Okay. Sorry.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, Ines, are you there?
Hello.
Can you
Hello,
hear
doctor.
us?
Yes, I'm there.
Okay.
How are you?
I'm okay, thanks. How about you?
No, today is about connection.
For you or for me?
With that connection, I can't hear you.
You can't hear me?
Today,
Today you have a bad
These
connection.
days is very bad.
Yes.
Very bad connection.
Yeah, I know. It's not very good here
I'm
because
sorry because I'm absent yesterday. I was out of travel.
that's okay, no problem. Welcome back.
Yes, there's bad.
Yeah, can you hear me, Malak, clearly or not? Because I want to know if the connection is from me.
Hello.
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Yes. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yeah.
I can hear both of you clearly.
Today is a bad connection.
Yeah, I know. Yes. All right, we'll try our best. If
I
it's
can't hear you, doctor.
okay, I think maybe the connection is you
I
have a
can't.
problem. Malak, can you hear me?
Yes, yes, I hear you.
Okay, Ines, I think you have a problem with your connection because Malak can hear me. So do you have?
Yes, these days the connection is very bad, but we will try.
Yeah, but I think for her it's even worse. So I'm just. I think if she can't hear us at all, maybe she can just watch the recording later because she said it's not clear to her. She can't hear us. Anyways, all right. So let's continue where we left last time. The last thing we talked about was comparatives. We talked about, if you remember, making comparisons how to make comparisons. We talked about that. And we learned the different ways of comparing. So we can use ER, of course, for one syllable adjectives.
Can't hear you clearly.
Okay, I think Ines, your connection is not.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you, but I think you can't hear us. Malak can also hear me clearly, but I don't know, maybe your
Yes.
Can
connection.
you hear me?
I can hear you, yes. I can hear you clearly. I can hear you clearly, yes. Okay, so in our last lesson, we talked about comparatives and how to compare between different comparatives depending on whether they are one-syllable adjectives or two-syllable adjectives ending in Y or regular.
I can hear you clearly now.
You can hear me? Okay, that's good. That's good. All right. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about our next lesson here. We are going to discuss how to talk a little bit about superlatives and to talk about also family relationships. So we'll do that as well. Okay, so let's start this lesson. So here it says roles people play. What do you think it means, Malak, when we say roles that people play? What do we mean here when we say roles that people play?
Maybe it means when somebody was a sister or brother or aunt or uncle.
You mean like social role?
Maybe that.
Is this what you mean?
Yes.
Yes, that's correct. Yes, this is the idea. Yes.
Yes.
So this is what a social role means. Yes, yes, Ines, you have a question?
Mhm.
Ines, you raised your hand. Do you want to say something? Yes, do you want to say something, Ines? All right, so let's continue. So, so here, let's talk a little bit about relationships, okay? So we want to put these groups or these words into two groups, family relationships and other relationships, okay? So let's try to divide them. So if it's a family relationship, just say number one, read it and say number one. And if it's a family relationship, just read it and tell me number two, and I'll put one or two on top of the word. So we have uncle is of course number one. Aunt, is it one or two? What do you think?
Aunt one.
Okay.
One.
What you're talking about?
Okay, what we're talking about here, Ines, is, do you see the words in the box here in front of you?
What you're talking about? Excuse me, doctor.
Yeah, can you see the words?
I had just connected.
Okay. Can you see the words in the box? Can you see the words in these in the box, Ines?
Yes, I can see the box, but I can't hear you clearly.
Yeah, because your connection is not very good, that's why.
Yes, vocabulary, this vocabulary.
Yeah, so we want to put the vocabulary, we want to put it in two groups. Group number one for family, group number two for relationships.
Yes, I have no electricity.
Okay, so if you think it's for family, just say number one. If you think it's for relationships, other relationships, not family relationships, just say number two. So uncle number one, family. Aunt number one. What about boss? Number one or two?
Okay, I understand now.
Is it one or two? What do you think, Ines?
Okay.
Okay, you tell me, one or two for boss.
Okay.
Did you understand the question, Ines?
Two.
Yes, it's two. That's correct. Yes.
Two.
Because, yes, that's right. Two. Okay. What about niece? Malak, you can tell.
One.
All right. Nephew.
Me or Inas?
Whoever answers first, I'll write your
Excuse me,
answer.
what's the very first word? The word after past, what is it?
Niece. Niece.
What's that meaning
Niece is the
in
daughter.
English?
Niece is the daughter of your brother or the daughter of your sister. Do you have married brothers or sisters, Ines?
Okay. Okay, I understand now.
Yeah. Okay. So if you have a married,
Yes. Yes, I have.
if they have daughters, you can call them nieces. These are my nieces. How many nieces do you have?
Yes.
How many nieces do you have?
I have. I think 10 nieces.
But remember, nieces are only the girls,
10.
not boys.
Yes.
Just girls. You have 10 nieces?
Yes, just girls. I understand.
All right. Okay.
Yes, I have 10 because I have 5 sisters.
I see. Okay.
All of them are married.
Okay. Now, nephew is the opposite. Nephew is the son of your brother or the son of your sister. How many nephews have you got?
Sister, yes.
Ines, how many nephews have you got?
I have 5, 6, 5, 6, 7, 11 nephews.
11. All right. Now, what about you, Malak? How many nieces and nephews have you got?
I have 2 nieces and 1 nephew. Two nephew.
2 nephews, 2 nieces.
Yes.
All right. Now, let's continue. So, flatmate, is it a family relation or other relation?
Other relation.
Okay. Cousin?
Yes.
1 or 2?
No. Cousin 1.
Okay. Close friend, 1 or 2?
2.
Okay. Ex-girlfriend?
2.
Okay. Neighbor?
2.
Excuse me, what's that meaning of flatmate?
Flatmate.
What's the meaning?
Flatmate is someone who, can you explain it, Malak, in English? What does flatmate mean?
I think flatmate, the person who live with you in the same room.
Yes, the same room or the same flat.
Okay.
This means that you don't live with your family or with, for example, with a husband or a wife, but maybe you live with another student. Do you understand, Ines? It means that you rent the apartment or you rent the house, especially with university students. When they live near the university, they usually stay with a flatmate. Okay. All right. Now, stepfather. What do you think?
I think 1.
Okay. Let's write 1. What about a grandmother?
1.
Grandmother 1. Twin brother?
1.
1. Ines, are you back? Are you there, Ines? Colleague. What about colleague?
2.
Correct. Relative?
I think 1.
Okay. Great
Yes, I'm
grandfather.
back.
Okay, welcome back. You have a very bad connection today, Ines.
The connection is very bad.
Yes. I was talking about flatmate, Ines. So flatmate is someone you live with in a flat when you study in university or you study in college, and you live in a
very bad connection.
And you live in a flat near the university. Usually, you don't live alone. You rent the apartment with another student, right? So we call this flatmate. The person who lives with you, the student who lives with you in the same apartment, is called a flatmate. All right? Is it clear? Okay, now great grandfather.
1.
All right. Employer.
2.
Okay. Employee.
2. But what's the difference between them?
Good question. So an employer is the boss. An employer is the person who brings employees. The workers are called employees, but the boss is called an employer.
Okay.
You get the idea? So an
Yes,
employer,
but, which of them?
Employer is the boss. Employer, he
Okay.
brings the employees. Employee is the worker. The employee works for the employer. All right?
Okay.
Okay. What about sister-in-law?
I think 1.
All right. Now let's take a look at page 138. This way we can sort of try to understand the words and see what they mean. So let's go. Okay, so here we are. These are the family relationships. So I think the family is clear. You can see grandfather, grandmother, father, mother, uncle, aunt, brother, sister. What does it mean, sister-in-law?
Sister-in-law.
What do you think?
Sister-in-law. I think she is the sister of husband or wife.
Yes, correct. Yes, she's the sister or wife. She's the sister of a husband, or she's the wife of a brother. Right. Okay. What about, can you read here, stepfather? What does it mean?
Stepfather is your mother's husband, but he isn't your father. Your mother married again.
Is it clear? What do we call stepfather in Arabic?
زوج الأم.
Okay. Twin brother, I think it's clear, or twin sister. Relative, I think you know what relative means. Parents is clear. Do you know great grandfather?
Yes, the father of your parents.
The father, not the father. Not the father of your parents.
Yes, I know.
The grandfather.
The father of parents.
No.
Yes, the grandfather.
The grandfather of your parents.
Not the grandfather. Yes, the parents of a grandfather.
Yes, the parents of your grandfather. Exactly. So this means like a 4th generation, not 3rd generation, right?
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Now other relationships. So can you read the difference between employer and employee, please?
Okay. Employer. Employer is work for. Is a person who works for a company.
Which one is a person who works for a company?
Employer.
No.
Employee.
Yes. Employee is a person who works for a company. So employee is the person who works for the company. The worker is called employee. Employer is the person or the company you work for. So in Arabic, what's employer and what's employee?
المدير employer. employee هو
employee.
yes employee. هو الشخص اللي يخدم مع المدير، يعني موظف.
Yes.
أو العامل اللي بيخدم في الشركة.
بالضبط. But employer اللي هو لو بالفصحى نقولوا اللي هو الموظف اللي يوظف فيك. مش شرط مدير، مرات حتى الشركة نفسها أو مرات قسم التوظيف، يعني مش ضروري هو المدير اللي يوظف. Employer can be anyone who gives you the job. Maybe the manager, maybe the training department, maybe I don't know, maybe the government. حتى الجفرمنت مرات تكون هي الامبلوير، هي الموظفة العامل. Okay.
Okay.
Then we have some tips. Can you read the last two tips, please?
Okay. We can use ex, step, grand, great, and in-law with other family words. Ex-wife, step-mother, grandfather, granddaughter, grand-uncle, mother-in-law, etc. We always use hyphens with ex, great, and in-law. We don't use hyphens with the step or grand.
Exactly, yes. So if you want to talk about your great-grandfather or your brother-in-law or your ex-husband, whatever, so we use a hyphen when we write it. The hyphen here is شريحة. But if you use step or grandfather, stepmother, stepsister, right? We don't use a hyphen. So this is just ملاحظة في spelling, I think, how to write them. This is what they mean.
What's
okay?
mean hyphens?
Hyphen هي الشريحة بين الأقواس هذه.
Yes, okay.
So this means if you want to say ex-husband,
yes,
you have to use it. You have to say ex-husband like this. Okay? So you have to use the hyphen here, شريحة.
okay.
But if you use step, we don't use a hyphen, we just use directly stepfather, grandmother, right? We just
without
use
X.
without
X.
لا يعني قصة مش بالإكس، قصة بالشريحة مع مين نستعملها.
Okay.
So that means the hyphen we only use it لما تستعمل هم الثلاثة هذول. اللي هم X و great و in-law هذول يمشوا مع الhyphen.
Okay. But
if you want to use a step or if you want to use grand, there is no hyphen with step and grand. تستعمليهم مباشرة. This is the idea. Okay? So, so now we took a look at the new words. I think we can go back. All right. So let's go back. All right, so we talked about different family relationships and different non-family relationships. We also answered number B. How many words can you make with X from these words? How many of them can you use with X?
I think Xbox.
Maybe my Xbox. I don't know.
Okay.
So, okay, maybe.
X flatmate.
X flatmate. Okay, maybe.
Yeah. X close friend.
Can we use that? X close friend?
Maybe.
I don't think so. No.
Okay. ex stepmother, father, and yes, ex stepfather.
Ex stepfather? No.
Okay. Ex colleague.
Ex-colleague? My ex-colleague? No. Ex is a little specific. We usually use ex, I think, mainly for ex-husband, ex-wife,
Okay, and ex-girl and ex-girlfriend, ex-boyfriend.
ex-girlfriend, ex-boss. No, we usually say my previous boss. اللي هو مديري السابق. Previous. تعمل مرات في previous actor.
Okay. Ex-boyfriend.
Ex-boyfriend, ex-girlfriend, ex-husband, ex-wife. I think we can only use ex in these situations. Ex-flatmate, maybe we say my previous
close
flatmate.
friend, no?
No.
Close friend, no?
No, you can't say ex with close friend. لأن لو قلتي ex معش ولا الفريند بتاعك doesn't make sense. هو كان friend مقرب. بعدين بيولي الex close friend. It's a little strange, I think. ex sister-in-law. ممكن ex sister-in-law. الحاجات اللي هم in-law لأنه ليهم علاقة بالزواج. So maybe you can say my ex-mother-in-law. So this is the mother of your ex-husband, right? My ex-mother-in-law, my ex-sister-in-law, he's my ex-brother-in-law, right? So maybe this is okay. With sister-in-law, brother-in-law, mother-in-law, father-in-law, من الحاجات اللي يجوا من الزواج هادو. You can use ex. لما يبدأ الهزبند أو الوايف خلاص مطلق، الكل مع عائلته السابقة، عائلة الرجل الزوج كلها بيولوا ex. ex-sister-in-law, ex-brother-in-law، كلهم اللي كانوا قبل sister-in-law, brother-in-law, father-in-law، كلهم بيصبحوا ex. So this is how usually we use ex. Step. What about step? How do we use step in your opinion, Malak?
Stepfather, stepmother, just stepfather and mother.
But we can also say, what about brother and sister? Can we say step?
No.
But what do you call a brother or a sister from your mother only, not from your father's side?
Yes. I don't know.
We say step sister or step brother. So this means if a father is married to two women and you want to talk about your brother from another mother, so he's not from your mother, we say step brother. He's only your brother from your father's side, not from your mother, right? Or from your mother, not from your father. So في الحالة هذه بيكون هو هذا stepfather, stepsister. Okay?
Okay.
All right, okay. Now, what about, I think, grand? Grand is easy, right?
Yes, grandfather, grandmother, and a great-grandfather, great-grandmother.
But I think we can also use granduncle or grandaunt, I think. Not common, مش شائعات بالك ما تستعمل فيهم. So this is, of course, your grandfather's sister or your grandfather's brother. صح ولا؟ هذا بيقولوا لهم
Yes.
your great uncle ولا الجريت اليوم يقولوا grand uncle يقولوا great uncle ما يقولوش grand في العادة. Yeah. So we can use it. What about in-law? How do we use in-law? So we can say sister-in-law, brother-in-law, mother-in-law, father-in-law, right?
Yes. Father-in-law, mother-in-law, sister-in-law, brother-in-law.
Right, right. Okay, now number two. Number two, they want you to make a list of all the roles you play in life. So what are the roles you play in life?
I'm a daughter, and I'm a sister. I'm aunt. I'm mother, and I'm aunt, and I'm yes, aunt. Just maybe aunt. Yes,
And the wife?
yes, and wife.
Mm-hmm. And sister-in-law.
Yes, sister-in-law.
Yeah, if you're married, you're a sister-in-law. What else? You're also a cousin.
Yes, cousin.
And you're
And I'm a niece.
a niece. You're also a niece.
Yes.
And you're a relative to someone. To some of your relatives.
Yes.
You are a relative.
Mhm.
Okay. Okay, that's nice. That's interesting. Okay. Now, and the second here is which of the roles that you mentioned, the roles that you talked about, which of them do you like and which of them you don't like very much?
I don't. I think I like all of my roles.
All of them, without exception?
Yes.
Mm. But which of them is the best? Which of them is your favorite role?
Maybe mother.
Maybe mother?
Maybe yes. And what else? And aunt. Yes, aunt.
Okay, so you like aunt, and for me, I have less roles. For me, I'm a son and a brother and a nephew and maybe a relative. That's all. And I don't like any of them. I don't like all of them, actually. I don't enjoy any of them. So maybe I'm your opposite. It's because in number two, it says, how many of the same roles do you have? We don't have any of the same roles, right? All our roles are different. Because for you, mother, aunt, daughter, for me, it's different. Son, nephew, brother. Yeah, so I think our roles are a bit different. And you enjoy your roles. I don't very much. So, so we're a bit different here. If I can choose if I can choose a role, my role would be nothing. I don't want a role. I want to be like separated from all the other roles. Just a role that doesn't have a role. This would be my favorite role, of course. All right, so of course, if you want to talk, because for some people, they prefer a part like this one. He says, I really like being a stepfather. So maybe this man, he married a woman, and maybe the woman's children are nice, right? So he enjoys his new role. It's better than being a single man. So now he's married and he's a stepfather. So he likes his role as a stepfather. Here, there's another example. I like being a mother, but I don't like being a boss. Okay, so here this means you can also talk about your other roles. So now you talked about your family roles. Can you talk about your other roles, your other relationships or other roles, I mean?
I don't understand this question.
Okay, so here when you talked about your roles, you said I'm a mother, I'm an aunt, which is all correct, right?
Okay.
But now I want you to talk about your other roles, not your family roles. Your other roles.
Relation.
Yeah, so for example, like a flatmate or neighbor or boss or employee, you know, like this.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a close friend.
You're a
I'm
close friend?
I like, yes, I'm
Yeah.
close friend, and
Do you know what?
just maybe close friend.
Do you know what colleague means?
Colleague is someone who study with you in university or work with you in your job.
Exactly.
Mhm. Yes, I'm college.
Colleague.
Colleague. Yes,
Mhm.
I'm colleague.
Are you an employer or are you an employee?
I'm employee. Yes, I'm employee.
Okay. Are you? So this means you're not a boss, but maybe you're a
No.
boss in something else, in another job. Do you have another job?
No.
Okay. Mhm.
And
Yeah.
just that.
Okay. Okay. From these roles, these professional roles, of course, when we say in English professional, it means related to work. So when we say professional life, this means your career, your job, right? But if we say personal life, this means your relationship, your husband, your family. You understand? So in the beginning, when you talked about your roles, you talked about your personal roles, your family roles, mother, aunt, stepsister, sister-in-law. But now the ones you're talking about now, like maybe close friend is also personal, right? Because family and friends, this is personal, not professional. But in your professional life or your professional roles, like a colleague and an employee, which do you prefer and why?
Colleague, maybe colleague.
Okay, you prefer being a colleague. Why? Why do you prefer being a colleague?
Because I think that is the same meaning, employee and
you think employee and colleague is the same?
Yes, I think no, the other person, colleague.
Yeah, because your colleague is also an employee in
yes,
but
yes, the same meaning, I think.
But there is a difference. You know the difference, because when you talk about being an employee, this means you are going to talk about your relationship with your employer. Do you understand? So employee is your relationship with your employer. Do you understand?
Yes. You mean without other person, employee?
Yeah, because you'll talk about your relation with your boss. This is employee. But when you talk about colleague, of course, with colleague, you're not
with other persons.
Yes, with other people who also work for the company or for the government or for the school or for the university or anything. Do you get the idea?
Yeah. Maybe I'm not a good colleague, but I think employee. Yes, employee.
You think you're a better employee than a colleague?
Yes.
Okay, so this means you don't have very good relationships with the other teachers in your school. Is this what you're saying?
Good relation, but
not very close.
I just not close and back to my home.
But with your employer, who's your employer? If you're talking about a public school.
Yes, in public school. No, I don't have a good relation. Just hello. I think in my work, just my job.
So you're
with my yes, with my students.
Okay, I see. All right. So so this is what we mean by other roles, of course. Okay. All right, so
Okay.
we can move on. We can see a few more questions. Of course, here we have a little bit of listening and speaking. So it says here, take turns to describe a person in the picture. Don't say his or her name. Your partner will say who it is. Okay, we can't do this because we don't have a partner here. So let's just try to describe the person as much as you can. Okay. So here, let's start with some of these people. For example, you describe someone, but don't tell me who you're describing. Okay. Don't tell me the name. And I will try to guess who you're talking about, okay?
Okay. The person who wears a black suit and beside beside a woman and he
Okay, so
he like
sorry, Malak, sorry
to see to something.
sorry to interrupt.
Just what we have.
Just a second. I'll be back,
What?
okay? Just give me 1 second.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, sorry to interrupt you. Okay, so you were saying the black suit. And what else did you say?
Yes. Black suit.
Mm-hmm.
And he's looking for someone.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And looks at someone. And he smile.
He's smiling.
And smiles. Yes.
Is he wearing what color? You said black. Is he wearing a tie?
Yes.
What's the color of his tie?
It's not clear, but I think gray.
Green.
Gray.
Gray. Gray. He's wearing a gray tie. You think? Is he?
Yes, and
is he holding
flowers? White.
Is he holding flowers? Or do you mean in his pocket?
In his no, in his jacket.
There's a white flower. Are you talking? Is he holding the bride?
Yes.
Is he holding the bride?
Yes.
Yes. Is he the groom?
Yes.
Is he the groom?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Maybe he's
Yes.
not.
He is. He is.
Maybe he's an ex-boyfriend.
No, he is. No.
He's the groom.
No. I think he is the groom. Yes.
All right. So I think you're talking about Jake. You're talking about Jake, but I don't know if he's the groom. I'm not convinced.
Yes.
Maybe he's not. Don't know. All right. Okay. So you can. I'm going to talk about one of them, and I want you to guess who I'm talking about. Okay. So this person.
Okay.
This person has long hair, and this person is wearing a suit.
Okay.
I think he also has sunglasses, but he's not wearing them. I shouldn't say he, but I did. So he's wearing his he's not wearing his sunglasses. He's wearing a blue suit.
Mm-hmm.
And
Okay.
he's talking to an old lady. I think he's a bit bored
Mm-hmm.
because he has his hand in his pocket. Maybe he's thinking of playing some video games and eating a hamburger or something. And I think he wants to leave this boring wedding. Who is he?
I think he's ex-friend for the bride.
Yes, he's also the
And,
bride's ex. He's an ex-boyfriend.
His name maybe Eric.
Yes, he's a bit upset. He doesn't want to come.
Yes, maybe.
Because
his name.
Yeah, because now Diana is going to marry another man, and he's a little upset. But I don't know why they invited him. They shouldn't invite him, but they did, which is a strange decision. Okay, you can describe someone else. Who do you like to describe?
Okay.
And try not to say he or she. Just say you can say this person or you can say they.
She's wearing sorry. This person is wearing black and pink shirt and tie, pink shirt and tie. This person's hair is brown, short hair brown. And on his jacket, yellow flowers. Who is he or she?
He's also an ex-boyfriend of Diana, right? Is he also an ex-boyfriend? Maybe. Okay, I think he's Charlie.
I don't know. Maybe.
I think all of the guests here
maybe his brother or.
No, I don't think so. I think all of them are ex-boyfriends. Even Patrick. Maybe Patrick, no, but I think all of them are. Yes. Okay. So Charlie, I agree. I think you're talking about Charlie, right? Because he has short brown hair. He also has the pink tie and the pink shirt. So maybe you're talking about Charlie. All right. Okay, so this is just an example of how you can describe people according to their hair and clothes, right? So this is just a describing question.
Yes.
Okay, so now we are going to guess who these people are. For me, all of them are ex-boyfriends, but I don't think that's true. So we can now see who they are. It says here, work in the same pairs. Guess the names of these people. All right. Okay, let's guess. It says here, Jake's twin brother is Dom. Let's see, is he a brother? Do they look like twins? Maybe. Dom and Jake. We can't see Dom's face clearly, but it says that they are twins. Dom and Jake are twins. Jake's great uncle. Who do you think Jake's great uncle is? From the picture, who's Jake's great uncle? Who do you think, Mac, is Jake's great uncle?
Maybe Patrick.
Maybe Patrick, maybe. Okay, we can check from the listening. Maybe Patrick.
Patrick.
Maybe. I
Can you hear
don't
me?
know. Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, I can hear you, yes. Maybe Patrick, yes, I agree. But we don't know because we're going to listen in part 4 and we can find out, okay? So in part number 4, we can find out. All right, now who do you think is Jake's best friend? Who's Jake's best friend?
Okay.
Who do you think is Jake's best friend? Yeah, I can hear you.
Maybe Charlie.
Maybe Charlie. Hello? Can you hear me? Yes, can you hear me now?
No.
Is my voice clear? Can you hear me clearly? Can you hear me now? Okay, I think I can't hear you.
Yes, now I hear you.
All right. Okay. Okay, can you hear me clearly? Hello? Hello, hello, hello.
I hear you.
Okay.
I can hear you.
Okay, that's good. The connection is not very good. It keeps disconnecting for some reason. Let's see if it disconnects again, or maybe I'll change to the other internet. Okay, so we said that maybe Patrick is the great uncle and maybe Jake's best friend, you said maybe it's Charlie, right? Now, what about Jake's aunt? Who do you think is Jake's aunt?
Yes.
Okay, so sorry again. Jake's aunt. Who's Jake's aunt? Who do you think is Jake's aunt? Are you there? Can you hear me? Hello? Can you hear me?
Hello. Yes.
All right. Okay, so my other internet is not working. So if this continues to disconnect, maybe you can just finish the 1 hour and do another hour, you know, another time. But let's try. Let's see if we can continue. But I think if it keeps disconnecting too many times, then this is, I think, a waste of time. And this means maybe if we we will do 1 hour now, and then the other hour we will do it another time. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, so let's try and see for now. And if we have another 2 disconnections, let's count them. So another 2, and we will just delay the lesson, postpone the lesson, okay?
Okay.
Okay, so what about Jake's aunt? Who do you think is Jake's aunt here from the list?
I think the old lady.
What's her name?
Or Harriet.
Harriet, maybe.
Yes.
Maybe Harriet is his
Or,
aunt.
Or maybe Naomi.
Naomi, yes.
Yes.
But do you think
Maybe.
she's old enough to be his aunt?
Maybe we all of them have. I have a lady, not old, and not old, young.
Is she as old as you are?
Yes, maybe.
Same age? Your aunt is your same age?
I think not in the same age, but I think it's
close.
She's young.
She's young.
Yes. Yes.
Maybe here, because sometimes the grandfather maybe is married to 2 wives. Maybe that's so it happens.
Not necessary. Not
No?
necessary.
No,
because I have sister. She's in me, and she 15 years.
How many years? 15?
Yes.
She's 15 years older or younger?
No, I'm young. I'm older than her, 15 years.
I see. That's interesting. So this means for your children, they have an aunt who's not very old.
Yes.
Yeah, maybe you're true, but I think in Europe and America this is not very common. I think.
Yeah,
maybe. All right. Okay. So maybe Harriet is the aunt, maybe. All right. Now let's see. What about Eric's wife? Who's Eric's wife?
Eric's wife.
Harriet.
Maybe Naomi.
Maybe Naomi. Why not Harriet?
Because she is old lady, I think.
Maybe he likes old ladies.
Maybe.
Yeah, but I agree. I think maybe Naomi is a better choice because she's younger. So maybe maybe Naomi, not Harriet. All right. And what about Jake's colleague? Who do you think is Jake's colleague in the photo here, in the picture?
Maybe Robert.
Yeah, maybe Rupert is his.
Or Dom.
Or Dom, maybe. Yeah. All right. Okay. So we don't really know. We want to just guess, and let's do the listening and let's find out. Okay. So now we are going. It says listen to Dom and Charlie. So Dom and Charlie are going to talk about the wedding. And this way we can check our answers for part B, okay? So we can find out who's the great uncle, who's the best friend, who's Jake's aunt, who's Eric's wife, and who's Jake's colleague, right? So let's do this. So pre-intermediate, CD2, we want CD2, track 19. Pre-intermediate CD2, track 19. Pre-intermediate. All right. Let's find the audio. Okay, CD2, track 19. Let's listen.
Hello, Dom.
Oh, hi, Charlie. Are you enjoying yourself?
Yes, thanks. But I don't know anyone here apart from you, Jake, and Diana.
Well, who do you want to know about?
Who's the woman in the red dress?
Ah, that's Naomi. She's Diana's best friend from university.
She's gorgeous.
Yes, she is. And she's the happiest person I know.
Really?
And she's married.
Oh.
That's her husband next to her, the one in the blue suit. His name's Eric. He's a colleague of Jake's.
What's he like?
Actually, he's the most boring person I've ever met in my life. All he talks about is work, work, work.
And he's got the worst haircut ever.
Yes, you're right. I don't know why she married him.
Who's he talking to?
Oh, that's Aunt Harriet. She's our richest relative. It's quite sad, really. She never got married because she thought men only wanted her for her money. No one knows how much she has, but she's got the biggest house you've ever seen, and she lives there on her own. She's a bit strange.
Yes, she looks it.
And the guy talking to my brother is Rupert. He's Jake's best friend. Do you know a place called the Bug Bar in Market Street?
Yes, I've been there once or twice.
Well, he owns it. Apparently, it's the most popular bar in town at the moment. You have to queue to get in.
Look, someone's waving at you.
Oh, no. He's my least favourite relative. Hello, Uncle Patrick. How are you? That's my great-uncle Patrick. He's 90 next birthday.
Wow, he doesn't look that old.
Yes, well, he's married to a much younger woman. She's only 76. Anyway, come with me, and I'll introduce you to Naomi's sister. I don't think she's married.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
It's a very interesting wedding, right? Okay, so who's the great uncle?
The great uncle,
Mhm.
Patrick.
Right. So Patrick is the great uncle. What about Jake's best friend? Who is he?
Maybe Patrick? Yes.
Patrick. Are you sure?
Yes.
Jake's best friend is Patrick, the old man.
Jack's best friend, he is Robert. Robert.
Maybe Rupert.
Yes, I hear Robert.
Rupert. I thought you said Patrick is the best friend. Okay, so let's write them, but let's also prepare for the next one.
Yes, Robert's best friend for Jackie. Yes.
Or Jake, yeah. Okay, so Jake's best friend is Rupert. Jake's aunt, what's her name? What's Jake's aunt's name? Are you there? Can you hear me, Malak?
Harriet.
Harriet. Yeah. What about Eric's
Yes,
wife?
I hear you.
Eric's
Harriet.
wife? Who's Eric's wife?
Naomi.
Naomi. Yeah. Correct. And Jake's colleague?
I didn't hear.
All right.
Colleague, yes, colleague Eric.
Eric. Okay. All right. So let's listen to the second part now. Okay. Can you fill in the gaps in exercise B, part B? Can you fill in the gaps?
Okay.
And if you're not sure, of course, we can listen again.
Okay. Person. Maybe her husband.
Okay, I'm going to write your answers and then we can
Number
check them.
2.
Number 2, husband. Maybe you're right.
Ever work? No. No. Best friend. I don't think he's got the worst.
Worst?
Richest relative. No, I didn't know.
Okay, no problem. The ones that you didn't hear, we can always do them
Maybe
again.
I have to hear. Mhm.
Maybe you have to listen again. Do you want to listen again? Okay, so
Okay.
let's listen again
Yes.
and check.
Track 19.
Hello, Dom.
Oh, hi, Charlie. Are you enjoying yourself?
Yes, thanks. But I don't know anyone here apart from you, Jake, and Diana.
Well, who do you want to know about?
Who's the woman in the red dress?
Ah, that's Naomi. She's Diana's best friend from university.
She's gorgeous.
Yes, she is. And she's the happiest person I know.
Really?
And she's married.
Oh.
That's her husband next to her, the one in the blue suit. His name's Eric. He's a colleague of Jake's.
What's he like?
Actually, he's the most boring person I've ever met in my life. All he talks about is work, work, work.
And he's got the worst haircut ever.
Yes, you're right. I don't know why she married him.
Who's he talking to?
Oh, that's Aunt Harriet. She's our richest relative. It's quite sad, really. She never got married because she thought men only wanted her for her money. No one knows how much she has, but she's got the biggest house you've ever seen, and she lives there on her own. She's a bit strange.
Yes, she looks it.
And the guy talking to my brother is Rupert. He's Jake's best friend. Do you know a place called the Bug Bar in Market Street?
Yes, I've been there once or twice.
Well, he owns it. Apparently, it's the most popular bar in town at the moment. You have to queue to get in.
Look, someone's waving at you.
Oh, no. He's my least favourite relative. Hello, Uncle Patrick. How are you? That's my great-uncle Patrick. He's 90 next birthday.
Wow, he doesn't look that old.
Yes, well, he's married to a much younger woman. She's only 76. Anyway, come with me, and I'll introduce you to Naomi's sister. I don't think she's married.
Oh.
Okay. So what about the answers? What do you think?
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I think number 2 is right.
Mm-hmm. What about number 3?
Yes. Yes, I think it's right. And number 3.
Yeah, what's number
Yeah.
3?
Don't know what is it. Number 3.
Okay, Eric is the most boring man Dom's ever.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and Charlie thinks he's got the worst. The worst what?
I think Dom, he is talking to.
Mm-hmm.
I can't hear very well.
Okay.
I didn't hear him. then
Was the sound choppy? Was it clear or not clear? The
yes.
audio. It wasn't clear.
No, it is not clear.
Okay, I see. All right, no
Yes,
problem.
the connection is cut. Then back.
Yeah, the connection is very
back. When it's
yeah. Okay, I have an idea. Let's listen again, but with the script, okay?
okay.
So you can hear it again with the script, and maybe this way it's easier, okay? So let's go to the script. This is page 51. Okay, so here we are. Let's go to track 19. Okay, here it is. Can you see it at the top left? Is it clear? Okay, I'll zoom.
Yes.
Top left.
Yes.
Okay.
CD2B.
CD2 19.
Okay. Yes. Now I hear. Now I see. Yes.
Okay. So let's listen.
Track 19.
Hello, Dom.
Oh, hi, Charlie. Are you enjoying yourself?
Yes, thanks. But I don't know anyone here apart from you, Jake, and Diana.
Well, who do you want to know about?
Who's the woman in the red dress?
Ah, that's Naomi. She's Diana's best friend from university.
She's gorgeous.
Yes, she is. And she's the happiest person I know.
Really?
And she's married.
Oh.
That's her husband next to her. The one in the blue suit. His name's Eric. He's a colleague of Jake's.
What's he like?
Actually, he's the most boring person I've ever met in my life. All he talks about is work, work, work.
And he's got the worst haircut ever.
Yes, you're right. I don't know why she married him.
Who's he talking to?
Oh, that's Aunt Harriet. She's our richest relative. It's quite sad, really. She never got married because she thought men only wanted her for her money. No one knows how much she has, but she's got the biggest house you've ever seen, and she lives there on her own. She's a bit strange.
Yes, she looks it.
And the guy talking to my brother is Rupert. He's Jake's best friend. Do you know a place called the Bug Bar in Market Street?
Yes, I've been there once or twice.
Well, he owns it. Apparently, it's the most popular bar in town at the moment. You have to queue to get in.
Look, someone's waving at you.
Oh, no. He's my least favourite relative. Hello, Uncle Patrick. How are you? That's my great-uncle Patrick. He's 90 next birthday.
Wow. He doesn't look that old.
Yes, well, he's married to a much younger woman. She's only 76. Anyway, come with me, and I'll introduce you to Naomi's sister. I don't think she's married.
Oh.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I think that's difficult for me, but yes, I do some of them.
Okay.
Okay. Her husband and Dom is most boring man. Dom is ever
Ever?
work.
Not work. He because
ever
هو زي اللي بيقول أنا
Eric is the
أكتر
most boring
most boring man Dom's
ever
ever.
life.
احنا كأننا بنقولوا أكتر شخص ممل تلاقى معاه في حياته.
In my life.
لكن لازم تدير الverb. What's the verb? هو تلاقى معاه أكتر راجل قابله ممل في حياته. أكتر راجل ممل قابله.
Is worst. Yes, he's is in in my life.
Okay, so here احنا متكلمنا على present perfect قبل وما تكلمناش. For example, no?
No, maybe. Has.
Okay.
Or had.
No. Okay. Do you see this example? Can you see the example I wrote?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Okay, can you answer it?
Italy is the most interesting country I have ever been.
Correct. صح.
Indeed.
Yeah. Why did you use been here? Why?
Because it is go, past participle of go.
صح. صح. Correct. That's the correct answer. Okay, let's see, for example, okay, let's use, who's the richest person you've ever met in real life?
Her aunt. It's me about
No,
me.
about you. Yeah, who's the richest person you've ever met in your life? Do you have like a rich, maybe a rich relative or a friend or someone? Who's the richest person you've met?
Yes, maybe colleagues in my university at the past.
Some of them were rich.
Do you know? Yes, you want their names?
You don't have to give the real name. If you want, you can give any name. مش شرط اسم الحكاية. غير للمثال بس. Give me any name.
Aisha.
Okay.
Aisha.
All right. So Aisha is the richest person the richest person Malak has ever met. لك أبص خلينا نعطيك أنت جواب. Can you answer it?
Met.
Why?
Ever met.
Why did you use?
Because past participle of meet.
Correct.
Past participle. We use it.
Yeah, you're right. Okay. So let's write that. Let me write. Where's the blue? Okay. Let's think of another example. نجربوا مثال تاني. All right, so I want to talk about movie. What's your favorite movie or the best movie you've ever seen, Malak? Your favorite?
The best movie, The Ring.
Okay.
I forget its name. The Ring of
Lord of the Rings.
Of the Ring.
Lord of the Rings.
Yes, the Lord of the Ring.
Yeah,
yes.
It's a very good movie. I agree. Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Ring. Lord of the Ring is the best movie I have ever. What's the correct answer?
Seen.
Correct.
Seen.
Yeah. All right. So now these are some examples of course, present perfect. أخذناه إحنا في درناه في unit 4 ولا مش تكلمنا على present perfect في unit 4.
Yes.
Okay.
Ever met in
Right.
my life?
No, just met. You don't need to
Met,
say live.
okay.
Yeah, just met. Okay. So Eric is the most boring man Dom has. طبعا الأس اللي هي has. Dom has ever met. You are present perfect. Dom has ever met. Yeah. And Charlie.
And he's the worst haircut.
Correct.
Charlie thinks he's got the worst haircut ever.
Okay.
Ever.
Yes, I'm.
Dom's richest relative is his aunt.
Correct.
She's also got the biggest house. The biggest house. The owner of the most popular bar.
Yes.
His town is Robert. Patrick is Dom's least favorite relative.
His favorite relative, yes.
He's 90 next birthday.
Yeah.
And next birthday, and his wife. His wife is only 76.
Correct. Yes.
Okay.
So this is the idea. This is the idea of using talking about family weddings and people who come, you know, aunts, uncles, friends, and everything. Okay, so we are done with the second part here. Let's move on and let's check number 5 here. So we have help with superlatives. Okay, so it says here, look at 4b again. And now we want to make superlatives of these adjectives. Okay, so let's talk about one-syllable adjectives. Where's 4b? Yes. Okay, we can't see 4b. Let's see, maybe you can see it. No problem. All right, so what about one-syllable adjectives like rich? How do we change it into a superlative?
Okay. We add the before the adjective and est after the adjective.
Correct. Okay, so rich becomes, what does it become after we change it to a superlative?
The richest.
Yes, the richest. All right, what about one-syllable adjectives that have a consonant, vowel, consonant at the end? Like big or fat.
We double consonant, the consonant letter,
Yeah.
last letter, add the est, the
Right.
biggest.
So we double the last letter and then add est.
Yes.
All right. What about two-syllable adjectives ending with y? What do we do to these?
We change y to I, then add est, and
Right.
we put a da before the adjective.
Yes. Okay. Now, what about adjectives with 3 syllables or more? What do we do?
We put must before the adjective.
And then do we make any changes in the adjective?
No, we just add must.
Okay. So, so for example, boring, how do we change it?
Boring.
Mm-hmm.
We put the before. No, boring. I think yes, the before adjective. And est, the boringest.
So it becomes
But
how?
The.
Yeah.
The. Before adjective and est after the adjective.
So it becomes the boringest?
Maybe, yes.
Do we say the boringest or do we say the most, you mean the most boringest or the most boring?
Okay, yes. Maybe that's better, the most boring.
All right, yes. So we say the most boring. Okay, let's write it. What about adjectives with 3 syllables or more, like popular?
Most popular. We add must.
Yes.
It's that necessary put the before must.
Yes.
That's the first time I know that.
Yeah, you have to.
Yes, I think must. I think just must.
No, you have to say the most interesting, the most boring.
And beautiful, the most beautiful.
Yes. She's the most beautiful girl I've ever met. So it's the same even with beautiful. What's the difference between these words?
Yeah.
Can you read all of them?
Yes. Mist.
Okay.
Mist. Must. Must. Mist. Mist.
Mm-hmm.
Mist. Must. Must.
Okay, so the first one is mist, like missed call, mist. The second one is mist, the same, mist, same sound. Number 1 and 2 are the same. Mast. This is when you have a ship, like the old ships, it's like this, and then they have this, and then they have the sail ships. Do you know sail ships? This the long thing here, this one that has this is called the mast, where you hang, where you can hang the sail. Okay. Then we have most, the most popular, the most interesting, most, and the last one is must. I must arrive early. I must finish my homework. I must. So we have
Okay.
most, must.
Most,
Most,
must.
must.
Must. Okay.
Yeah. All right.
Must.
Yeah,
And
then
must.
and must. Yeah, the first one.
Mm-hmm.
But the first one, of course, is not used a lot because we only use it when it's a noun. But most and must, the last two, we use them, I think, more common
Okay.
in everyday language. So must, like, I'm trying to think of words which have the same sound now. Most, like ghost, like host, host. Do you know the word host?
Yes, it is the a guest.
Opposite of guest.
Uh-huh.
The person who wants the guest to come to his house.
Okay. Okay.
Host. So most, host, same sound, and toast. Most, host, toast. We have toast in the morning. Most, host, toast.
Okay.
The same sound. And the other one, must, like just, like just. Can't think of another one, but must, just, the same. Okay. Must and just.
Okay.
Must just. All right. Now, so number 5, adjectives with 3 syllables. We say the most popular.
Okay.
And what about good and bad? How do we change them? How do we change?
Good. Okay. Good. Best.
Right, correct. For good, we say the best. And what about bad?
And bad. Worst.
Right.
Worst.
Yeah, the best and the worst. The best and the worst.
Okay.
All right. The best and the worst. Now, number here, we have a tip. It says the opposite of most is least, right? So if you want to use most, you can also use least. So this means least is also a superlative, but it's a negative. It's a negative superlative, right? And you can see the example here when Dom was talking about his uncle, Uncle Patrick. What did he say? He said, he's my least favorite relative, right?
Yeah.
What does it mean when we say he's my least favorite relative?
He means he's not favorite for them. He's not important. He's not the most important person in their life.
Okay, yes,
no?
but here when we say least favorite, كيف بترجمها? How would you translate it?
أقل أهمية.
لا هو هنا favorite مش أهمية، أفضلية.
أفضلية.
يعني معناها أقل واحد نفضله في عيلتي. It's like saying I hate him. It's the same.
Yeah.
It means Dom, he doesn't like Patrick. He doesn't like him. هذا ليش قال أقل واحد مفضل عندي. It means he doesn't like him. All right.
Okay.
Okay. Now number 5B. What's the word missing here?
She's the best person I know.
لكن أنت نسيتي happiest.
Yes, you want the missing word. The happiest.
لكن في كلمة missing.
Okay, she's the most. She's must or she's the most.
She's the most happiest.
Yes.
نشوف كيف استعملها. Okay, خلينا نجاوبها most, the most happiest. And let's see if that's correct. لكن
Oh no, my best.
نقدر نقوله best happiest.
No. No, I know. I said she's my happiest person. I know.
Is that correct? Can we say my happiest person I know?
No.
And also with happy, with happy ملاك, احنا ايش اتفقنا قلنا how do we use superlatives في كلمة انت سألتيني عليها. You said نحسبهاش ديما sound effect.
Happiest.
Right.
The happiest.
Correct. Okay. Now check question C. What does it say? Question C. Why don't we use the before the superlatives in these examples?
Where is the must? Must. You don't use must.
There's no most here. There's no most.
Okay.
We
Yes.
don't.
Maybe you didn't hear me. From the first, I said the, but you
Sorry.
didn't hear me.
Yeah, I didn't hear you. Because if you said it, then yes, that's the correct answer. Yeah.
Yes, I said that, but you said no. Maybe you didn't hear me.
No, I didn't.
What I say?
I didn't hear you saying the. No. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah. So the is the correct answer. Yes. Okay. Now in the second question, the second part here, it says, why don't we use the before the superlatives?
We use that before superlative.
No, I mean here.
Jack's here. Okay. Jack's best friend. She's our richest. Maybe when we use possessive or pronoun or possessive pronoun, we don't use the.
Maybe that's right. Yes. Maybe that's correct.
Like my bag, we don't use any article with when we say my bag. We don't use any article with my bag. We can't say my bag.
Correct. You're right. That's absolutely right. Correct. Yes. Let's check the rule. I think you're right because we have a pronoun or a subject here, the possessive adjective. So yes, you're right. Let's check the rule and let's confirm this information. Can you hear me clearly? Is my voice clear?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I hear you.
Good. That's good. Okay. Okay, so all of هذا اللي فوق كله واضح. هذا كله جاوبناه صح. All of it is correct. Yeah. I'd like you to read the last two tips, please. آخر زوز هم هذا اللي فيهم معلومات جديدة. The last two tips contain, I think, the important information for us. Can you read them? Can you read the last two tips, please?
Yes. I see now. Okay. You want?
I want you to read them, please. To read the last two tips. Can you read the last two tips? Can you hear me now? Hello? Okay, can you hear me? Welcome back.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now I hear you.
All right, welcome back. So can you read the last two tips, please?
The connection lost. Okay. The picture is not clear now. Yes, now I see. Yes, okay. Where is
On the right side.
the opposite of is my least favorite relates. We use the she's the happiest person I know. Yes, I see and I read.
Okay.
Possessive, his Jack's best friend, or possessive adjective, she's our richest relative. The superlative is the most common form.
Okay, so this means normally we always say the plus superlative, right? So when we say the happiest person, the, for example, the most boring film, the most expensive watch, right? We always use the, but if you use possessive S,
I can't hear you now.
can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Okay.
Yes, so I said that with possessive S and possessive adjective, we don't use the, okay? So if we use possessive S or possessive adjective, we don't use the. Is it clear? Did you hear me? Okay, so I'm going to type it. Let me know if you can hear me. Can you hear me now? All right, can you hear me now, Malak? Okay, so I'm going to continue because I think your connection is not very good. Anyway, so this is the reason why we don't use the in these two examples. He's Jake's best friend, or when we say the other example, she's our richest relative. There, we don't use the because we have possessive s and possessive adjective, right? This is the reason why. All right, so now let's go back and let's answer the other exercises. So let's go back. Okay. So we did exercise number 5. We completed it. We also did the details here in part B, C, and D. We completed that. All right, so now we have a little bit of listening. Let's do the listening and practice the stress, okay? So let's see the track, let's listen to track 20 and try to get the correct stress.
She's the happiest person I know.
He's the most boring person I've ever met.
He's got the worst haircut ever.
She's got the biggest house you've ever seen.
He's Jake's best friend.
It's the most popular bar in town.
He's my least favourite relative.
Okay, so let's listen to that one more time and try to copy the stress.
Track 20.
She's the happiest person I know.
He's the most boring person I've ever met.
He's got the worst haircut ever.
She's got the biggest house you've ever seen.
He's Jake's best friend.
It's the most popular bar in town.
He's my least favourite relative.
Okay, so this is the correct way of pronouncing superlative sentences, the right way of saying them. Okay, now number 7, let's write the comparative and the superlative forms of these adjectives, okay? So of course for intelligent, because it's a multi-syllable word with more than 2 syllables, so we have to say more intelligent. And if you want to make it superlative, we have to say the most intelligent, right? So we need to say the most intelligent. Now, busy, it's a 2-syllable adjective with Y. So we say busier and the busiest. Busier and we say the busiest. All right. Fat, it's a one-syllable adjective, so we just put ER. We don't, and we double the last consonant letter, which becomes fatter, and the fattest, right? Fatter and the fattest. Popular is the same story as intelligent, because it's two popular three-syllable word. So we say more popular than, and we say the most popular. Okay, then we have good. Good, of course, is an irregular adjective, so we say better than, and then we say the best for superlative. Helpful is two syllables, but we need to use more and the most. So you can say Ahmed is more helpful than Michael, and Ali is the most helpful student or the most helpful boy I've met. Bad is like good. It's also an irregular adjective, so we need to say worse than, and we need to say the worst pizza I've ever eaten. So this is the worst pizza I've ever eaten, I've ever tried, I've ever had. Selfish is a two-syllable adjective. We need to use more selfish than, and we need to say the most selfish person. Tall. Tall is a one-syllable adjective, so we say taller. I'm taller than you, but your father is the tallest. Then we have thin. It's the same story as tall and fat and big. So thinner. And I think we need to double. Should we double the last one? Thinner. The thinnest person I've met. More thin than you are. The thinnest. So thin, the thinnest. All right, then we have lazy. It's a two-syllable adjective ending with Y. So we say lazier than, and we say the laziest. The laziest. Okay, then we have far. Far is an irregular adjective. You can do it two ways. You can say further than, or you can also say farther. And the farthest. The furthest, if you want to use it with a U, the furthest. If you want to use it with an A, the farther, and the superlative will be the farthest I've ever been. All right, so these are just some examples of using comparative and superlative forms of some of the adjectives we have here in the list. Okay. So now let's use some of these adjectives. Okay, now we're going to use different ones in number 8. I thought we needed to use the same, but we don't. Okay, so let's go to exercise 8. Let's clean our page first and let's check. So in exercise 8, we want to fill in the gaps in Dom's sentences with the superlative form of the adjectives in the brackets and use the if necessary. So it really depends on the situation. Sometimes you have to use it. Most often we have to use it, but there are some examples when we have the superlative the possessive S, or we have a possessive adjective like my, your, our, and whatever. In these situations, of course, we do not use the. Let's see, number 1. Diana's one of. We need to use the superlative of young. So we should say one of the youngest company directors. The youngest company directors. One of the youngest company directors. Okay. Now, number 2, her parents are. What's the superlative here? What do you think? Okay, so here we don't have a possessive adjective, we don't have a possessive S, so we have to just say the happiest, one of the happiest married couples. Her parents are the happiest. There's no one. Okay. Her parents are the happiest married couple I know. Good. Number 3. Diana's something organized person I've ever met. So we just need to use the most organized because organized is a long adjective. More than 2, I think 3. The most organized, the most organized. Okay, so we should say the most organized person I've ever met. She's also my boss's here because we have a possessive s, so we cannot use the. We say my boss's best friend. Jake is the most helpful person in the world. The most helpful person in the world. Okay, so no possessive adjective, nothing here to stop us from using the, so we should use the in the superlative. Jake is the most helpful person in the world. He's also the world's, here because we have a possessive s with world, so we cannot use the anymore. We have to say the world's worst driver. Worst driver. Here we don't need to use the s because we have a possessive s. We don't need to use the, sorry. We don't need to use the. Now, number 7. This is the most important day of his life because we don't have a possessive adjective nor a possessive s, so we need to use the superlative in full form. The most important day in his life. The most important day in his life. All right, number 8, and he's wearing my. So here, because we have my, a possessive adjective, we have to say, we have to remove the, and we say my most expensive shirt. My most expensive shirt. The superlative of expensive, of course, is most expensive shirt. Right, so this is an example of how to use superlatives, and whether to use the or not, of course, depends on the sentence. If you have a possessive s, or if you have a possessive adjective, of course, you will not use the. Otherwise, you need to use the with any superlative, okay? So that's all for tonight. Thank you for your time, and I'll see you in our next lesson. Goodbye.